So hello everyone. Hello everyone. It is afternoon at my side. So good afternoon. Good evening to anyone who is experiencing evening now, or morning to anyone who is experiencing morning now. So this is a little exercise like what we did last week on the town hall. So this time we just want to know, what do you normally do to unwind after work? So you can put in, I'm sure the poll is already on your screen. You can put in what you do on a normal day after work where you're tired, stressed out. You just want to do something one or two just to take away the stress and how busy your day has been. So what do you do? It can be taking a nap or sleep, or maybe watching a movie, Netflix and chill, something like that. Or probably listening to music, podcast. It can be anything you're listening to. Or maybe take a walk, exercise, go to the gym. Or probably go out for dinner, eat good food, good meal. Or spend the time with family. Have maybe chit chat with some few friends, go out for drinks. It could just be anything. So we've given out the options. So you pick anyone that best fits what you normally do to unwind. Yeah. Oh, I can see the pool running.
I
Hey,
cannot
Netflix
see
and chill.
I cannot
Net,
see
net,
work more
it,
in the
it,
options, Priscilla.
yes, a lot of.
We're just thinking maybe
There's no option for Yan.
you have to the
Work
concept.
more would have been Yan's option. Now Yan doesn't get to pick.
Netflix
Explain
and
the
chill is
concept
leading.
after work to me, yeah, and then I can answer. But no, I'm just kidding. It's not all work. It's also some play here.
I would love to know what Yan does to unwind, though.
What I
Yan,
do?
can you please share a little?
Sorry.
What you
Uh,
like to do after work just to unwind?
I think coming up with more difficult ideas for more work should be number one.
um, well, I do think I don't actually there's really not come to think of it, not so much something after work, because that assumes that there's a time during day that I work and that I stop working and do other things. But for me it's more like an ongoing thing, but it doesn't mean that I don't have spare time. For instance, I walk the dog or I go for a run a couple of times a week. I do watch Netflix now and then as
Ooh, go Netflix.
um, so I think I think and actually I always try to do more exercise. Like I had this idea to do HIIT training, like 10 minutes a day, every day, but I just can't get it done. Whether I put it in the agenda or not, it's never the right time, and then I forget it, and then at the end of the day I think, oh, there was this training I was supposed to do. Well, maybe tomorrow. So that's how it goes.
But I
Gotta
think it's cool though. It's so cool.
gotta
All
book
of
it
us,
as
we
a
kind of
meeting.
fall short.
You, you cannot you cannot run away from it.
Yeah, we all kind of fall short when it comes to exercise. So yeah, and don't worry. I'm sure
If he
you
were
find a
running away
perfect
from it,
time.
he wouldn't need the exercise.
True though.
All right, awesome. Uh, I don't know what happened to the pool. It just completely disappeared from my screen. Did you
Oh, okay. I think I still have it on mine,
Can you show
and it
the
looks like
results?
yes, Netflix is leading. Netflix is like 50%, and the rest of the percentage, that's the rest of the 50% is divided between taking a nap and listening to music. So I'll talk about the first three that is leading. So Netflix is leading. That is watching a movie or a TV show. And the next one is taking a nap. Then the last one, that's the third one, is exercise or take a walk. So I can see that
I
Netflix is doing
Better
so well
yet,
here.
now I'm sharing the results with everyone.
Oh,
There
okay,
is,
great, great.
I guess movies are the best one. As we can see, a lot of exercise and walks. Congratulations, guys. You're very healthy. Yeah. Also naps. All right. It's like you're tired. Let's go to sleep. Awesome. Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you, Priscilla, for being the icebreaker. And now we can go. We can go on with monthly updates today, and hopefully we can also continue our discussion about the CRISP that we started the 2 weeks ago on the Open All Lands. And also, I think there are some updates for deep funding that deep funding wants to share. So let's get to it because we have a lot to cover. And on that side, on that being said, I mean, let's start with the monthly updates and let's start with the review circle. I'm just gonna follow the order we have here on the document. And also you can tell me if you want me to share the document or if you prefer to do the presentation with no document. But yeah, please, review circle. We have Slate and Paulo. Who's gonna be presenting? Hi, Paulo.
Yes, I think I can start with the part of BGI. I think the one big block in your work this week, this month. So if you could please share the note, I think can be stairs
Yes.
for people because
All
sometimes my
right.
English not so bad, so good. So it's better if people can follow at the same time.
All right. It's already, hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. Please
Okay,
go ahead.
so to start, everyone, I'd like to say it's my first time. It's a pleasure to be here. And about the BGI, I'd like to put some numbers for this very, very good partnership we had with BGI Nexus to this round. After the Rafael and Jan, they can talk more about all process, but I will talk more about the review process. This is interesting. We worked this month with 30 reviewers and 4 tutors on this process for BGI. And these 30 reviewers were working in teams on 3, and each team have a leader. And by the end, we had 56 proposal reviewed and 168 individual reviews. So every team had a block of projects in his competence. So inside these reviews had to read and evaluate all the proposals individual. If the 3 of them are in accord, we have a consensus, the project is approved or reject in a consensus. And after all, if you have some split decision, the team have to make this committee team. So the 3 have to be together to evaluate this proposal. And if they have more doubts, they have to make this invitation to teams to have. If the 3 in committee they don't have a complete agreement about the approval, they have this kind of meeting, and we send four invitation, and after all the people don't have wasn't approved in technical review, we send them a mail with the major points to improve his process to improve his proposal. Happily, we had CISA peer review, so I think everyone was approved because they were very very good in complete this, and it was very interesting. So I think like 20 people are new in deep funding review circle. So it was a good challenge to take these new people to put they all in the process, and was very intense, but it's paid. And I would like to say thank you for everyone to try to make this happen. Kudos team leaders, because everything you have experience, you want to try to help the others, new ones, to take this equilibrium between the experienced and the new ones. So try to equilibrate the team. And Sucre helped me a lot, helped a lot the process. Rafael there and all BGI staff to help in this process. So for the BGI, this is the first thing we made. I talk about more about the numbers. So I think we can keep walking. Or Sadi would like to keep on a milestone, because our circle we grow up with the number of projects, so we split a little bit the task, so we work together, but complementary. It's okay for you, Asad, if I keep, or you would like to do something? It's okay. Okay, go on. About the milestone review, so this month we had 18 project milestone reviewed during this evaluation period. So all the reviews we had made. For then we finished the milestone. So for then we should go to the marketplace. So this is a good. We have four cycles closed. So it's good to have a project to pass all the steps. And we have some ideas on this. I will speak this in the future. The third point is the analytic circle. We have a discussion with them about how can we improve our process. We have a lot of data. I told you only for BGI you have 168 digital reviewers, more almost 30. So I have almost 200 reviewers, and we would like to have this data to community to have all thing more transparency, more clarity to improve all process. So this is our initiative. So we are in this new initiative to try to take all this expertise from analyticals and use our data and give something with more value to community. And the fourth point here, this is an internal process. You are in the review process improvement. Our circle has increased. How I told, we grow up with a new tasks, and we would like to improve our weekly team calls to have more quality. So we are trying to structure the way we are sharing information. We have a space to discuss the best practice and all, what can we use to improve all this review process. We want to grow up, but with quality. So this is a challenge. So we don't want to only to put new ones and leave them to choose himself. We want everyone grow up with the structure. And a good proposal we marked here is to try to include the team award in presentation during the marketplace integration. This will be good. For example, we have a new when we saw in this way, when we finish each milestone is a step you are giving to the end delivery is better. So the reviewer have to have this approach to improve the review, not only judge to say, oh, yes or no, but you want the team grow up too, because when you finish the process, maybe the team want to start again and then work with us again. So we want to create this kind of binding with all team, and this is our philosophy. So I note all this. Yeah, so this is the last one point. So we have a lot of work intern and extern too, and we have some works going on an RFP too, but we're working on this. So I think the next month we have a new approach about this. Okay, so I think it's all. Thank you. I know I have a lot of things, so I try to speak fast. If you have more questions, you are.
All right. Great work, Paulo. Congrats, and to all the review circle.
You know,
And,
I think sadly.
yeah, and also, we've even already had some call with Assad, and we would love also to use the town hall for you to coordinate with, for the proposers to present what they've been up to, what they are doing, get more awareness. And I think it's even good, when we're launching services for people to know, like, these services exist, this is what we do. We've been trying to do that as well, and reaching out to proposers individually. Yeah, sometimes not perfect, but we are also improving processes on that and trying to incentivize people to do it. Maybe together we can have more impact, right?
Well, we truly believe that when we improve people, we improve the process. So we have this attention to know more about the reviewers, how they can contribute with the channel. They are not only the guy who read, they say, oh, this is equal. The milestone is what they are proposing. It's not only this, it's to say why they arrived into this results and what can we do to improve this milestone for the next one. So we have this responsibility to achieve, because at the end we would like to have a good things at the funding, good output. So you're engaged on it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. If there are any questions for Paulo, also after any presentation, just raise your hand, just unmute yourself, and we would love to hear it. If not, we will of course move forward. We have
I
Ayo.
would just like to extend my gratitude to the review circle, because it was a really smooth process and really professionally executed, and it was just a pleasure to work with you, especially Paolo and Sucre, who did so much to help us during this process. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
But very good work with you too. I think we have a good connection with both teams. It is a good spirit to make well. So This help everything. Thank you.
Ayo, you had your hand up?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to commend Paul, and I thought maybe Paul would not like two commendations at a go, so I thought maybe reserve for the end of the call.
Okay.
So Paul was reviewing submitting a report for the first time, and it was quite good to get to work with him and get it done. So I just wanted to comment that. Thank you, Paul. I hope I was not
Oh, thank
too.
you.
All right.
You too. Yes.
Awesome. All right.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you so much, Paulo. And there are no more questions. Let's go on. Let's go on with the marketing circle. And here we have Andrea for presenting today, if I'm correct.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Welcome. Please
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Okay, so for the marketing circle, we labeled the first one as a milestone, and that's having regular social media announcements. This month, we've been helping to raise awareness around the BGI Nexus, especially, and also the AI for Peace, RFP-Ideation, and the upcoming hackathon that I'm going to talk about in the next, in the Dev Outreach Circle monthly report. And we've been designing infographics as well. Thanks, Lucas, for that. Infographics about the funding opportunities that DF offers. That's for our community to know what the opportunities are, and because the round is starting, so we want everyone to know what they can apply to. And we've been also working on blog posts and social media posts that provide a quick overview of the funding opportunities and deep funding. Then the second point is decision. We welcomed Inez and Anna. I don't know if they are here, but they both have a strong writing skills, and they will be taking on the monthly newsletter task. So welcome. We are really happy to have you, and because they have been really quick to answer and to work on the newsletter. It's been really nice working with them. And finally, we have the third point, designing a community engagement initiative. So we asked Priscilla, Abdul Rahman, and Robel to work on initiatives. We will see soon how this is going to be implemented. They will be in charge of creating strategies to foster active participation within the community. And these activities involve planning and executing activities that encourage collaboration, discussions, and meaningful interactions, ensuring members stay engaged and informed. One of them is going to be a storytelling that Abdulman came up with. So we expect, hope that everyone or whoever is interested in participating post their storytelling. For the marketing circle, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. A lot of new things and new initiatives. It's gonna be nice to see how that goes. And it's all nice to see how you are able to organize a team of so many people. Must be a challenge for sure.
Thank you, Rafael.
All right. Any questions? Just, raise your hand, unmute yourself. Please feel free. If not, we can move on. I'll give you a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 5. It's over. Let's go. Thank you, Andrea. And let's now move to the Dev Outreach is Andrea again. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, me
Go
again.
ahead.
Okay. So for the Dev Outreach Circle, well, 5 members have successfully completed the onboarding training with Ishan. We mentioned that in the past month, but today we know that's for sure. And well, they are gaining the skills needed to onboard solutions to the SNET market. So maybe Ubio, when I'm finished, wants to give more insight about that. But now we are able to.
You're breaking out a little bit, Andrea, from time to time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now, yes. So sometimes you just
Okay.
get frozen for a little bit and then you come back.
Okay, maybe it's because I'm using a lot of devices here. Okay, so the point number 2 is the hackathon, and we already have a date. The registration is started yesterday. Oh, sorry, this is wrong. The registration is started yesterday, the 25th of March, and it's gonna be 1 week for everyone to register. Just let me get back to you because I think this is well. And the hackathon is going to take place from April 21st to 28th of this year. And these events invite developers and AI enthusiasts to collaborate and create AI-driven solutions that contribute to global peace across societal, personal, and ecological dimensions. So it's time for you to register, and I hope that anyone who's interested will come to us. I'm going to explain a little more about the hackathon in the next point, which is the dualathon. Yeah, thank you. So we called it a dualathon because the hackathon is going to be linked to the ideation challenge, AI for Peace. The team decided to incorporate the AI for Peace challenge into the upcoming hackathon, as well as finalizing important aspects of the ideation process. Participants will be tasked with building use cases that contribute to global peace in societal, personal, and ecological contexts. So in this regard, we are going to link the AI for Peace challenge to the hackathon. So whoever has a really nice idea to share in the challenge, this one could be used either for an RFP or for the hackathon. That's to be decided by the outreach circle. And so the registration started today, and it's gonna last 1 month until the 15th of April. And yeah, we are super excited about this. And you can find the registration form in the last post that we made on the funding social media. So let's move to the next point. Okay, so we've been asking the team to redesign the hackathon page. So Marcelo and Usman are leading the redesign with the aim of adding dedicated sections to showcase both upcoming and past hackathons. A great feature discussed for future implementation involves introducing an improved team formation tool. And this tool is going to make it easier for participants to connect and collaborate. This is future feature that we will have. Maybe you won't find it right now, but that's the goal, that every participant can know who they are by just going to the website and maybe joining a team if they don't have a team, or to know what teams are there, what's their approach, or what's their team. and like communicate better. I think that's it for now.
All right. All right. Thank you. A lot of work here as well. And especially now with this hackathon and the dualathon. But I think it's really nice the concept of getting these ideas from people and having it as an RFP. It also promotes, more ideas on this RFP ideation, and then you can use them instead of, just having to come up with ideas that we don't even know if people, really want to work on that, right? So that's really smart, I would say. Any questions,
Yeah,
please?
I just want to add to this
Go ahead,
by
Ibu.
am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to add with respect to the ideation and hackathon, this is all hands. So I will be appealing to every other circle to help us with the publicity and reaching out. We've set out a very, very ambitious goal to ourselves with respect to the amount of applications for the ideas and the number of participants for the hackathon. So I think, yeah, we will do our best, but I think as a community, if we can help us as well, that will be much more appreciated. Like Andrea said, we have the last post on the deep funding platform. You get all the information, how to apply to the ideation, how to apply to the hackathon, registration, all details, rules, everything. We've got it all sorted out there. So yeah, anywhere you are within your communities, we really appeal that you help us with spreading this. Let us reach new audience. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ubio, for this call to action, a very important call to action. All right. If no more questions, I think we can move on to the focus group. And to present, we have Vanny. Vanny, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
All
Please.
right. So this month, first off, working with the review circle has kind of given us some new insights. We identified a number of issues in like our conversations as a focus group that are within the purview of the review circle, especially stuff like who should an awarded proposer contact if they disagree with a milestone review? And we talked a bit about how this might be impacted by the power differentials within the ecosystem. Basically, that's a fancy way of saying, do people feel a bit shy to approach somebody that they perceive as being at the top? And also how this squares with protecting milestone reviewers' anonymity, which is something that I think we're all agreed is important. So we've talked around these issues in our regular meetings, and we're now liaising with the review circle soon about how to progress them and, what processes there should be. And just to add that this kind of reflects the focus group's ideas about how we should work in general. Of course, we are likely to identify all kinds of issues and discuss them in our meetings. But where those issues are within the remit of a particular circle, our first step we always want to be to go and talk to that circle and get their expert insights and ensure that they've got agency in how the issue is approached. So that's kind of consolidated that as an idea for us. The next new insight is about circle coordinator roles. If you can just scroll down a little bit for me. So yeah, this month we've discussed the whole idea of circle coordinator roles across the whole deep funding system. How should coordinators be selected? Should it be entirely up to the circle themselves, or should there be any involvement from outside? Should a coordinator hold the role for a fixed term only, or is that again something that's an internal circle decision? These issues kind of impact on the question of decentralization, which is one of the focus group's key focuses. It impacts on that in two directions. I mean, obviously, circles should have autonomy to make decisions about their own operations, but on the other hand, those decisions should probably be made in a conscious way with aims to avoid any kind of entrenching of power. So yeah, we've not made any firm conclusions on what we think as a workers group about any of these things, although in general we see circle autonomy as a really important principle. And then, yeah, if you can just scroll down a little bit for me. Awarded teams and proposal completion. This felt like a challenge that needed to be addressed. We discussed, again, after aligning with the review circle, the question of awarded teams who don't complete or who leave projects half finished and kind of not properly onboarded onto the marketplace. And we don't hear from the team and we don't know where we're at with them. We noted that for deep funding round one, only 2 out of 11 projects had the label completed when we started discussing this, which is not great. So how should we deal with this? How can we identify any barriers that they're facing and help them resolve them? And how do we evaluate and analyze the actual outcomes of proposals and what they've achieved? What was their impact? And how can we close proposals that have been apparently been abandoned? Again, we haven't got any definite conclusions yet, but we have looked at some elements of the planned new contract for awarded teams. And we've seen that it addresses a lot of these issues via time limits for the completion of a project and things like, if we don't hear anything from you in 6 months, then there's a process. And we've looked at the status of some of the uncompleted projects from deep funding round 1 and 2 and identified what's caused them to stall. So that's progress at least. All right, it's about all from us.
All right, thank you, Vanny, and definitely a lot of important discussions here and a lot of important topics. So congrats to the focus group. Any questions, please? You already know. Unmute yourself, raise your hand. Now it's the time. If not, well, let's go to the operation circle and let's go to Mayor or Victor, whatever you prefer. Are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome. Because right now I cannot see the full the full screen. Awesome. Go ahead, Victor.
Okay. So first off, before I start doing this presentation, I want to let you guys know that Rojo is no longer part of the operation circle. It's something that Ian will still discuss or shed more light about maybe later after our presentations. But yeah, that's one big update, and I miss him so much. So the first thing we did this month was we automated contracts for the newly awarded RFP proposals. So we finalized the contract automations, and we just need to click, and then contracts will be generated and all those kind of stuff. But as of right now, we have not sent it to the awarded teams, at least yet, because we need to clarify some stuff from the legal team regarding the contracts. So for the second point, so we have also started compiling the overview and the individual circles matrix reports for the half yearly. And we started doing it this quick so that we can get it in on time and then send it to the analytics circle for analysis, and then send it to you guys for half yearly presentation like we always do normally. And we want to make it like a thing of half yearly presentations. And the third change, or the third thing we did this month was milestone changes. So for the newly awarded RFP proposals, we had to, according to them, they said they did not have time to clearly or clarify their milestones and all those kind of stuff due to the shortage of time in the RFP submission and all those kind of things, and them generating a proposal and all those kind of stuff. So they reached out to us and asked to fix a thing or two on their milestone, and we followed due procedures of going to the RFP owners and asking them, oh, are these processes or are these things cool to make changes for? And yeah, they approved it, and yeah, we have made necessary adjustments to the website on their milestone. And stuff I did not write here, for example, is I've been working closely with the review circle, or let's say Tukrane in particular. So we had to create sheets for the entire 30 members or the entire 30 expert reviewers. and we are currently working on sending out test payments and making sure they are able to record their tax, and then maybe next week we could make payments to their expert reviews. So yeah, this is almost everything that the operations circle did.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Victor, for sharing, and thank you for all the work. And if there are any questions, now is the time. Yeah, and I guess you will you be looking for some extra people, Victor, now that or not, or is not
Yeah,
necessary?
I spoke to Rafael about it. In fact, myself and Rafael had a meeting today. But before we do look for anybody extra, we need to align on what are the gaps that we have as an operation circle and see how these people can fit into those gaps. So for now, until when we can identify those gaps, then yeah, but on the long term, we are still going to look for extra people, definitely.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Well, if there are no further questions, I guess it's my turn. It's the turn of the event circle. Well, let's say, a good thing is that we finished the onboarding of Priscilla and Mariam. So they went through a little onboarding process we created that we hope to recycle it for the future as well. And went through the onboarding documentation, but also some activities they needed to do. And hopefully they are now empowered to contribute as any other of the members in the circle. And as you can see, Priscilla is already working on some things, some ideas of their own with improvements on the town hall that we can create, and hopefully on the whole lands as well. And Mariam is also working on a research for a new initiative that we hope to share soon with the community. For the second point, we've across the last month, we've had a lot of work in reviewing 40 proposals for the community hubs. So thank you once again to everyone who proposed. We went through a process where we had three reviewers. They created a top 10 of proposals. And we've also went through a process of requesting more information for some hubs where we felt we needed a little bit more detail. And we were engaged also in discussions for final selection, and soon we hope to have a final announcement on the selected proposals, for now, at least the ones we can take in right now. It doesn't mean that in the future, some of the hubs who might not be approved right now cannot join us later on, as we have processes and if we have capacity and if the hubs are also showing the impact we hope they are going to have. Well, another thing was just the preparation of the Spotlight Day. It's tomorrow, the BGI round Spotlight Day. Don't forget to show up there, 8 p.m. UTC. We'll also hopefully send some messages in on the Mattermost, and there will be some promotion as well on the BGI page and on the deep funding. So go check it out and don't miss it. It's going to be a pretty interesting event that we are organizing the presentations under different themes, so you can select what interests you the most and see some cool 3 minute presentations about these proposals. And this is also very nice because voting is coming soon, so that this is a way for you to figure out which proposals seem more promising and maybe dive deeper into them. Then we've also been doing some work with live events with the three circles, marketing as well, and dev outreach. And we are, preparing a little pilot to test the chance of bringing these live events into deep fundings, and to see what will be the impact. And for this initiative, we, as the event circle, took the initiative to do some research and to start thinking about and creating a process to standardize applications. And hopefully with the other two circles, we are trying to make some decisions on how to move forward and how to advance with these. And hopefully in the future, not so like soon, we'll have something more to share. Finally, we've just kept delivering what we always do, these events, and also the metrics, work from Victor, and with IO constantly updating the community website. That's it. If there are any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or to unmute. And we have a question from Vanny. 3 questions. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting this. All right, Vanny.
Timing. Yeah, I was just wondering with your point number 3, what kind of live events are you thinking about? It sounds really interesting. Or was it number 4? It was number 4.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's a fine. You said what it was. Yeah, we are on a discussion with the 3 circles, and in terms of live events, we're probably gonna start with something simpler. So we will hopefully have some maybe meetups or actually having people going into live events that already exist. So, for example, I don't know, there is a conference on a topic that makes sense for deep funding to be there. We could actually help someone to be there to represent deep funding and bring some awareness and hopefully some proposals into our community. So that would be the idea. Abdul, does that answer your question, Vani?
Yeah,
Sorry.
definitely. Thanks for that.
Thank you. Abdul, you had your hand up before Jan, so please go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Raf. I want to ask, I don't know if you can answer the question or if any PGI member is going to answer the question. Is it also, would it be allowed for maybe a proposal that not made it to the last final round of the review to also be part of the spotlight to present the idea?
It's a bit low, your sound for me. But you're asking about the BGI Spotlight Day that I understood, and you're asking about participation. Basically, I'll try to answer, and then you tell me if this answers your question. For the Spotlight Day, the proposals that we'll be presenting were the ones that, as Paulo mentioned, were approved by the review circle. So all of those proposals, we'll have a space to present during that event. Any other presentations we can schedule for the normal town hall. I don't know if this answers your question, Abdul.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Sorry, sometimes, I know it's frustrating. You do a great job in trying to speak and trying to talk, and I really appreciate it. And sorry for sometimes not being able to hear you properly. Jan, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's one of these things with Zoom that Vani was also commenting on. So we have to live with that, I guess. I don't have a question. I have a remark or a question or a request, perhaps. There's some great things going on, like the BGI Spotlight Day and this duathlon, sorry. But I don't see them on Mattermost. I don't see them, at least not on the general channels like the Hypercube, where it would be so great to inform the rest of the SingularityNet ecosystem about this and not make this something that is just for deep funding. And I don't think we are using that channel enough. So it would be great to see announcements like this and things that we're proud of and things that we achieve. Also, from some time to time, see in the Hypercube channel of SingularityNet World. That's just my remark.
Thank you. Yeah, I think a very valuable remark for every circle, for us to up our game in terms of promotion. All right, Paulo, please go ahead.
Yes, the numbers I mentioned it's only for technical side. So for BGI, I think we had 91 proposal. It's a very big number. So I was talking only about the technical side. So
But then there were only 20 something that were approved, right, for the reviewers?
Yeah, yeah, because we had the first filter with the BGI team, so they evaluate all this BGI requirement relates, yes. So when they made this first part, and we took the continuation to try to evaluate the technical side.
Yeah, the technical feasibility. Yeah. So basically, all the proposals that passed that process, those are the ones who hopefully hopefully will
and something
present.
is interesting. If some team have some doubts and want to know more about it, about what, because we send this review only for the appeal, the people who want to able to appeal. But for technical side, if you need some question, for example, you can send a mail for BGI. I think we had a mail for this, so it would be a pleasure to make all things very clear, transparent. We are here all to have a good project, not so this is good. if you have some doubt, you can send an email for me or for the team. We have to explain the whole process again.
Yeah. And I think also it's very nice. From what I understand, you also had an appeal process. People could come, they could also message, question, and prove you why, a review is good or not. So that's pretty nice,
Yeah,
right?
we had proposals. For example, I have three reviews, individual, more one from with the team, and one have interview. So it's a we
Big
want to be
process.
sure the people have all opportunities to reply. So if they have some questions, we are here to work to help people to improve projects. So they can count on us better.
Awesome. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you. Well, if there are no more questions, we can move on to the onboarding circle. And here we have Love presenting. Love, are you here? I saw you in the beginning of the call, so hopefully you're still here.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear
Hello.
me? I'm still here.
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome.
Okay, good to see you all. So, let's get started. For the onboarding cycle, first and foremost, we are really happy to welcome Tobias, our new member to the onboarding cycle. I don't know if Tobias is here. Okay, I don't think he is. So, that's it. And next thing is that we have decided to take on managing the incoming applications to circles this month. We took it up recently. So for now, we've started working on a process that would make everything seamless while looking out for any points that could be automated. Mm. And the next thing is our collaboration with the data analytics circle. We have collaborated with them and we have used their approaches to create a more specific procedure for testing the DF proposal submission process. I don't know if you remember, but we did talk about doing this last month. And the link to the process we've drafted is linked to this report. And you could share it to everyone if you don't mind. Thank you. And after we are done with this, we'll turn the data to the data analytics circle for them to analyze for us. Can you guys still hear me? All right.
Yes,
So
yes.
the last bit, we have had a bit of an issue with onboarding active new members using the circle's application sheets. So the issue is that the potential new members or emailed either did not respond or were nonchalant with their responses. Some replied to the email but didn't show that much interest, in joining the Mattermost channel or getting involved. And we believe that it is partly due to the fact that applicants do not get a follow-up email or some kind of response when they apply to be a part of the circle, probably eons ago. And or they might not be interested in the particular circle that reached out to them. Let's say, for example, we the onboarding circle reaching out to someone that did apply to be a part of the event circle. I'm very sure that might be odd and kind of disappointing for them. So they just don't respond to our emails. And these are the kind of issues we hope to address with the circle application process that we are working on. And I think that's it from the onboarding circle. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your work and congratulations. Your circle is starting to, getting some steam, right? Things are starting to move, right, love?
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. If there's any questions, you already know the drill. Feel free. If not, we can go to the data analytics circle. And we have Israel and Edwin. I'm not sure which one of you is going to present today, or if you're here.
All right, thank you. I'm the
All
one.
right. Hello, Israel. Welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. For the data analytics circle, we started this month with the Mautic installation and testing. Earlier this month, we had this research that was carried out by Onize and Edwin for exploring some alternative options to MailChimp that could save us some costs and giving us control over our email marketing, right? We launched, finally, at the end of the day, we did some, research about other email marketing tool that are very sophisticated and aligns with the objectives of what we needed it to be used for. So we finally settled with Mautic. We started by, first of all, launching the data that is needed for the Mautic importation. And we also identified that if there are some other existing data, so we developed a streamlined approach for all the data validations as well. And we successfully installed it and we tested it for the marketing automation. And this was done by Edwin. And we also performed some preliminary performance evaluation just to assess the functionality, which in our meetings, it showed us how it works and what are the things that is needed for functionalities and other things like that. At the end of the day, we're looking forward to like finalizing the user roles and configuration to how this particular tool works perfectly, and also for the workflow automation. Right, so that's the first thing we did. Second thing we did was the analysis on the community engagement score tool and the reputation analysis, whereby we are able to finally get the results for the CES2 using the new algorithm. Also to validate, we also validated the outcome with the public data set that we have. And we did a comparison between the old and the new algorithm, which is still under review. We're still gonna look into that by working with Fortrek closely on this, and as well, right, would definitely have the outcome of this. Yeah. So the third point is we have the UI and the UX advancing analytics, where we have Oscar, who is in charge of this. He was able to serve as a QA to identify some other fraudulent activities going on in the page, just to address that. And also we wrote out, I and Oscar, we wrote out detailed UI and UX research documents where we presented this to the onboarding circle for them to see what we're currently working on as well. So we are currently collaborating with them to see how we can work together to improve the user experience strategies in time to come, right? We had a lot of development. We created a structure which we can fix some of these things like the tracking, how to manage the system issues efficiently. Also to test the website to see how it works right now to compare to what we can improve on. And also we developed a QA plan to outline all of these testing criterias, the execution process, and all other qualities control measures in this platform. That is the third thing we currently working on. And so finally, we have the last thing here, which is the tax categorization for all circle members, all the circles rather, that we did this month as well. So we developed, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, we had a meeting in the town hall whereby we said, okay, we can all come to conclude on how we can create a task categorization for all circles, whereby it will help in the seamless approach and also the way we better manage and organize our tax sheets. So we developed a structured tax categorization, which was done by Edwin and Ayo to better organize and keep our tax tracking more efficient. So we mapped out tax categorization and we align it with different activities within the analytics circle. We're able to divide each of these tasks, categorize them to where they ought to belong. And the result of it is that it was able to help us to, manage tasks properly and also allow for more efficient delegations to all the circles and tracking more seamless. So that's all from the analytics cycle. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Israel. If you have questions, you already know. Also, you gotta explain me how you're able to, do the report tomorrow and have it ready today. I don't know, just joking with you. But quick question, Israel. For example, you're doing the marketing workflow with the email, which is really interesting. Do you already have ideas on how that would be implemented? Is that in partnership with marketing, or how does that go?
Yeah, definitely. So Edwin reached out to the marketing, right, early this month as well to discuss this process with them. And the team is also aware, the data analytics circle is also aware about this process because we did our findings properly to see which will really work the best for us. So yeah, that's why we settled for Mautic, and we've seen a prototype to how it works, and also some testing has been done already to see how it works. And yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
Well,
much for your concern, Rafael. Yeah, thank you.
well, if there are no more questions, thank you to Israel and to the Data Analytics Circle, and let's go to the documentation work group. Is it still a work group? Is it a circle? I don't know. Anthony, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. The documentation work group is glad to be here. It's our first time here, and we had some major updates this month that we thought to share with everyone. Okay, so point one is the circles documentation process updates. Yeah, we've been working on setting up individual MKDocs instances for each circle. So each circle is to appoint one member responsible for maintaining their documentation. That's when we are done. This person will also liaise with us, the documentation work group, for help or additional information. It's a crucial step towards making the whole circle operations more transparent and accessible. Yeah, that's basically what we've been doing so far. Then the point two is we are basically done with the new DF book website powered by MKDocs. I put the URL there, we can check it out. So the new DF book MKDocs website, it has been set up successfully. It serves as like a central resource for the funding circles related documentation, consolidating content from various sources. But the major sources of the content currently on this new DF book is a Confluence page created by Jan and the previous Git book. Yeah, so we just merged these two information together and put it on the new DF book. So most of the content needs updating and restructuring to improve the user experience and clarity and usability. So we are still on this, we are currently handling it. Then the third point is the review circles MKDocs website URL is also ready, also powered by MKDocs. So this review circles MKDocs website, it will be same use. It will be used to document their processes and guidelines. Like I said before, each circle we have something similar. So we are starting with we're going one by one across each circle. We're done with DF book. We're done with review circle. So we'll be reaching out to the review circle members to get their feedback. How does it look? What do they want changed? And to assist us in making it better. That's second point. Third point, sorry. Then point four is mapping the data to MKDocs, proofreading and content review of that data. So we are currently refining this process. That's how the data collected from the circles should be transferred into their respective MKDocs instance. Earlier in the year, we shared a spreadsheet for each circle, each work group or focus group, just to like document their existing resources. So that is from where I am taking information to currently populate the new DF book, the new MKDocs website I'm creating. So third point, this fourth point, that's mapping the data. It includes deciding on content structure, the categorization, and the landing page design of each documentation resource. So discussions are currently ongoing to ensure consistency across all documentation sites And we are also reviewing and proofreading existing documentation data. The focus is majorly on improving the clarity, correcting outdated information, and ensuring consistency. Yeah. So point 5 is the documentation contribution process. This is where we need help, basically. So we are working on creating a structured process for contributing to this documentation resource. Let's take, for instance, the review circles and MKDocs website that is currently ready. There should be a process, a standardized process of the review circle members or us from the work group, from the documentation work group, the process of updating that website, that resource, because the information changes steadily, constantly, and it will continue to change steadily and constantly. So we are still we are finalizing the contribution process basically to ensure all the updates are made smoothly and efficiently. The contribution itself is a perpetual duty for this work group. We'll be handling majority of the work. Then with the help of every circle member, especially the circle representative, that's the person in the circle in charge of documentation itself. So it's quite challenging. So we are open to suggestions to optimize the process. So that's our update from the documentation work group. To just conclude, the new DF book is ready, and the review circles documentation website is also ready. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. And definitely a lot of topics and a lot of work from the documentation work group. We already have a question or an insight from Rafael. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Cardoso. Yeah, Olico, I'm really glad to see this last point here. Of course, all of them, but the last point, because this is what is going to leverage and as a trampoline for this work group to become a circle, right? So this ongoing process of updating and curatorship around the documentation, it's very important for their overall structure, and it's needed to be done. So yeah, that's the path for the work group to become a circle. Very good to see. And this is linked to another topic that I also have in mind, which is the structuring, as you put it here, for using Google Drives that Deep Funding has. Nowadays, we have many documentation going on personal circle members Google account like Google Docs or Google Spreadsheets. Also the drives itself, sometimes I go to read the document and it's in a personal Google Drive, which is definitely not optimal. So we have to also solve that. And I see all of this here in this structure that you are suggesting for the next steps here. So yeah, thank you for working that direction. Really glad to see this here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, great. Thank you. We are done with the monthly updates. Woo, awesome. They are getting, every day we are getting more people, more updates, more things. I guess it's awesome. It means we are growing a lot and doing a lot. Tommy, you have your hand up. Please go ahead. Is a question for Anthony or is it a general remark?
No, I have a question for Love. I heard something and I was involved in something, so I couldn't get to the microphone in time. I was a little troubled and concerned by her comments on us losing or possibly losing brain power. And I was just wondering if she had some metrics on how many people are not responding, how many people we've lost or we're losing that haven't been onboarded. And I know we face something similar in the ambassador program. So we may have ways of helping that, Love. But do you have any metrics on the actual numbers?
Sorry, Tommy. I'm kind of confused. Can you clarify your question? I need to get it right.
Okay, if I heard correctly, and I'm in a construction zone, so I may not have. I thought I heard you say that you have people that had volunteered for a circle, not responding to emails. So I'm just wondering if you have numbers, if you have any numbers on how many people have volunteered that aren't answering that we possibly have lost to onboarding.
Okay, from the onboarding circle part, we sent out emails to I think about 6 to 7 people. Yes, yeah, 6 to 7, and I think just one of them responded, and one of them was kind of nonchalant, and the rest did not. So I would say we've lost 7 people.
How long of a time between their volunteering or inquiring to the email that went out?
Some of them are from months back. I can't remember the exact date, but most of them are actually like 3 to 4 months old. Some are actually 6 months. So they didn't get a response, and I'm guessing that's why they're not responding now.
Yes, its sales leads go cold very quickly. And we are looking, we're growing, the circles are growing, but we want quality just as we have, and we want to continue that. So people aren't lose interest, but I think we should tighten up perhaps our timeframes on contacting people that make an.
All right. Thank you, Tommy.
All right, awesome. Andrea, please go ahead.
Thanks. I just want to take 1 minute to thank JP, who is leading the marketing circle and who's been behind the scenes, like posting across all social media, editing the videos, being there always, and helping running things smoothly. We will miss you a lot, JP. Thank you so much for your work here. And on behalf of the marketing circle, we wish you the best. And we hope anywhere you go, it's going to be great for you.
Thanks a lot, Andrea. You're gonna make me cry. Well, I had a great time. I think that it was more than a year that I'm here. Now it's time to move up. I have 2 very interesting projects that requires more than the 100% from myself. There's a moment where you have to choose. That's why kind of being like kind of disconnected from the last town halls or open hands because it's a mess in my background of these things that I'm doing. But I will be here around. So thanks all people that I met here. Rafael told me, well, the other Rafael, John, well, a lot of persons that are the active participants from this community, a lot of proposers that were winners, and I hope that they continue to develop on AI, on deep founding, and on SingularityNet. Thanks a lot. It was a pity that I didn't meet you on person, but you never know what can happen on the future.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. And it's been great to have you here on every town hall, every event, and to work with you in general. And we'll definitely be missed. But if it's a good project and for a good reason, we are happy for you and wish you all the best. A lot of success, right?
Thank you.
Rafael, you have your hand up.
Yeah, if I may. JP, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Only love from our side here for the work that you have done. I mentioned last all hands, but because of the reasons you mentioned and now you weren't here, but I would like to express again my token of appreciation for your work. And you were a fundamental pillar in this process of all hands town halls, especially in the editing, recording, updating or uploading the videos. We used to have a hell of a problem with the timeline for this, and even I created the step by step. I put in lines, but it's still we weren't making in able time. But when you arrived, you were able to go there and make it happen. So now, I guess less than 24 hours, we are able to check on our media, social media, and etc., the videos and everything. So yes, that was, and not only this, other parts, the spotlight days, you were also, again, fundamental. I know a lot of work. People send videos. Oh no, that I was too blushed, and now I want to have this another video. And then you, without complaining, you went there and did. And thank you very much for everything. Okay, and please don't be a stranger. Come here for the town halls and time from time. This time not for recording, but seeing what's happening, and certainly in the future contributing more to us. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rafael. Sure, I will try. I will try to be there.
All right, awesome. Well, Jan, you do have some updates you want to share, right? I think now might be a good time.
Yeah, so we need to think about time management here, but let me first say +1 to whatever Rafael said. Not too much to add there, except yeah, we've been spoiled, GP, having all these videos done so quickly and uploaded in great format. So I think it will be painful to see how we will follow up on that. So we will definitely miss you a lot. So thank you for all your contributions, for working your ass off, especially during spotlight days and all those things. You really pulled through there. So yeah, we have a lot to be grateful for. So thanks a lot. Regarding other updates, so people come and people go. So let me first make this statement separately without too much context. We are looking at ways to strengthen the product part of deep funding. So what we see here and what we did here today is all about operations. Operations are facilitated and supported by product, the portal, backend automation, other tooling, and so on. And that is a little bit more where operations are only almost uniquely hourly based on product. There are a few more contracted people. For instance, we have 5 WordPress developers at this time. So I was looking for a product owner, but then I interviewed Rama, and I felt that Rama was actually a little bit too senior for a product owner. So what we did is we split that role between Rama having, we'll call him product manager. We'll see how that will work out. We're still interviewing people for the role of part-time product owner. And there's this wonderful new colleague that we also give a full-time contract, which I would like to introduce to you as well. And his name is Roho. So Roho has been working very hard on backend automation. To my big surprise, he is now available full-time. He's also been working on with a SingularityNet team on things like smart contracts and escrows. So all these things seem to fit very well together. I think also having both Rama and Roho makes the whole product thing more balanced, and then with a product owner in between, where I think Roho will be a little bit more leaning towards technical topics, and Rama a little bit more towards the websites and apps that we want to develop and other things. And there are a number of things in between that we'll have to figure out. Another thing that is happening, and which makes all these things so perfectly come together, is that we currently are having talks with SingularityNet of deep funding having a more deeper role in the platform development, in the AI platform development. So we want to collaborate more closely, but we're still figuring out the exact structure for that. So more about that later, maybe in the next all hands in 2 weeks, or maybe we'll need a little bit more time to crystallize. We'll see. For me, this gives the opportunity to take a little bit of step back and not necessarily need to be in every meeting anymore. That is similar as the situation in operations already. I was softly pushed to the exit by Rafael there. No, Jan, you don't have to be here anymore. No, it's really, let these people do their own thing. So I'm trying there. I would like to let you know, by the way, that if you would like to have a call with me as a circle or as an individual for that matter, or you would like to present outside of this meeting something to me or to Rafael, I'm always available. It's not that I don't want to do it or don't want to be there, but it's more that I also want to give everybody the freedom and the space to figure out for yourself how things should be organized. And today is a perfect example of that. There are so many good things that I see happening there and so many initiatives. The last one, the recruiting, is something that was on my mind for a long time. So thank you, Andrea and others, for taking charge of that and giving that the attention that it deserves. That is a great thing. I will let Rama introduce himself right after, but I think, yeah, you're still here, Rama. But before I do so, actually, there are a whole lot of things that I wanted to say, but I either forgot or I don't have the time and want to give them proper attention. One thing that I do want to mention here is the new skin of the community website. So I mentioned in the all channels, please have a look at community.deepfunding.ai. It will also give more opportunities. It will give more opportunities for content. So we talked about documentation. We will have a resources page there that will be somehow connected to documentation. We'll have to figure out how and where, etc. But yeah, documentation can be linked to the portal. It can be linked to the community portal. Maybe we can also link it to backend automation, because I saw a link with data or deep funding in numbers, and maybe we can feed in something there as well, or find a way to connect all of that information. It will also come with an opportunity for each circle through the front end of the website to create and publish your own blogs, and you're completely in charge. You can write a blog, publish a blog, without anybody intervening. So it will be your space and your publication stage. And then last but not least, and I think this is the best feature of the new version of this website, we have notifications. And the great thing of notifications is that if we publish a notification on the website, Usman has done a great job in syncing that with a number of social media. So this should make the life of marketing a lot easier. You can now create a message on our community website and then have it published on Discord, have it published on Telegram, have it published on Blue Sky. We're still working on X. I don't think, or LinkedIn also, yeah. If there are other desires, we as in Usman can have a look at that as well. So this means that the work for marketing will be easier. There will be more consistency over the channels, and our community website will always be up to date in that sense, and we'll always have the latest news. So you also have a single source of truth. Maybe in Telegram, a message gets snowed under very quickly because other messages are there. Well, don't have that many messages, but we will have. But then when you go to the community website, you always see those latest and actual announcement there live. So also on that end, a lot of good things. And we will continue to develop it. We'll work on the ambassador side and the SingularityNet community side and decentralization a little bit after that, I think. We'll work on pages for work groups, we'll work on pages for community hubs, we'll work on pages for, or a more sophisticated area for hackathons. So Yeah, I'm very glad that we have some new people there as well. So I maybe at sometimes we have to present the WordPress team for you. I don't see them here right now. Otherwise, I could introduce Zohaib, who's our new person. But I think there are a few others that you haven't been connected to as well. But without further ado, I would like to introduce or have Rama introduce himself to you because he will start from next week going forward. And then, well, you've seen, well, hopefully his face if you're on camera. Yeah, there you are. And then you know who's talking to you in the channel. So he's just on Mattermost today, and I will be adding Rama to a few channels. But please, Rama, you can introduce yourself a lot better than I can do, I'm sure.
Thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. Thank you for having me, everyone. I really appreciate it. Great to meet everyone. It's been an interesting call to hear the different works that are being done. I've had the privilege to meet Paulo and Rojo. And Paulo, I love that workflow. I love the review workflow that you have in place. That process is spotless. I thought that was really interesting. When you walked me through it, I couldn't visualize it, but when I saw it today, it clicked, and I really, really like that. And I see there's a lot of things being done here. I'm excited to be part of it. I'm excited to join and see where I can contribute, where I can add a little bit to the amazing work you guys are already doing. I really love the mission. So that's what drives me more than anything else. A bit about me. I think I'm the only person that's selected that I spent time with family here when we did the icebreaker, and I think I'm the only one because I have a 10-year-old daughter, and if I don't spend time with her, she would not flourish. So I have to do that. But so I do a lot of homework with her after school. So that's usually the time that I spend with her. Prior to that, I'm from the continent of Africa. I'm from Benin, by way of a few other countries. And I was born in France, so I do speak France. I do speak French, donc je parle français très bien. I grew up in Germany, so spreche Deutsch. And I have a lot of fun around Europe. Then I moved to the US when I was about 13 years old, and I've lived in the US for a long time. I went to school here in New York, and it's been a lot of fun being in New York. But I also miss home, so I created a business home so I can go home more and I can interact with more people. And it's been a whirlwind of a time. Started my career with BlackBerry. Moved on to Google, to Amazon. So I've done a lot of things over the years, and I've grown a lot. But I'm always eager to learn more. I'm always eager to learn more from people like yourselves, and I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Rama. So maybe you should come to the Netherlands sometimes and we'll teach you some Dutch. Or we'll talk German or French.
I love it.
We'll choose.
I love it.
I think timing-wise, so I think we can dive in a little bit deeper about the role of these people and what that means for the structure of deep funding, etc. But as mentioned, probably better at a later stage. I think, Rafael, we also had CRISP on the agenda today, but looking at the clock, that is probably not possible anymore. Maybe a suggestion here, and I'm just mentioning it, it pops in my mind. Would it be an idea to have an ad hoc meeting next week just on CRISP for those that are interested in that process and having and being part of the selection process there? Because otherwise we wait till 2 weeks, and in the meantime, these ideas that are already there are accumulating. Maybe we need some time after the meeting to have that done properly. And then the meeting after that, I'm sure there are other things on the agenda as well. So what do you think, Rafael, other Rafael?
Which other?
Exactly.
Now you are the other Rafael. In this meeting, you are the other Rafael.
All right. It's you, Rafael, I think.
Presa.
Oh yeah, okay. No, yeah, definitely it's interesting to have next week this crisp talk because we are kind of in need of it, right? The ideation process is open, so we need to decide this, and it's important to have all of your inputs in it. And this definitely brings me to another topic that I'm going to be quick, which is this communication framework that we are having. So we have biweekly calls in all hands, town halls, and etc. But given the amount of needed communication in between stakeholders in deep funding, they are not seem to be enough for us to go through everything that we have to talk. This today is a proof of that, and we are growing. So more and more it will be needed. So in this way, I'm putting a framework together where we have some top-down, let's put this way, let's not call it top-down, but let's call it from deep funding staff to the all circles, announcements, requests as well. Jan is not wrong when he says, yes, I'm being kind of avoiding the meetings and etc., which is good for the growth of the decentralized environment that we are willing to have. But at the same time, we have to also talk to you and give our perspective, and also can come with some requests as well to be executed. So this would be the first communication frame that we would have. The second communication frame that we would have is in between circles, horizontal, let's put this way, communication, where you have to be able to co-create, you have to be able to work on a bigger frame where all the circles or some circles are there to work together, right? And the third one, which would be from the circles to the community, this including also deep funding staff and etc., which is what we are doing today with this updating. The only thing that I believe it perhaps needed to be changed is the periodicity. It has to be bi-weekly perhaps, because monthly speaking is perhaps too long, and then 3 updates in a month, it's too few. So it's too little. So perhaps having more calls into this sense. I am putting these ideas on paper, and I'm going to share with you for us to discuss around these lines. This way, I think we cover everything: deep funding, circles communication, circles community, including deep funding communication, and also the communication and creation of good results in between circles, which is a major goal that I have envisioned at a long time. Now we have the 3 circles, but we want to increase this connection in between you. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Rafael. We talked about this a few times, quite a few times already. I've been urging around that also a little bit because I miss you guys all in meetings. But at the same time, it's also a challenge, right? Because on one hand, there is this need for more communication and so on. On the other hand, we're all part-timers here. So if people work between 5 or 10 hours a week, and then you spend 6 hours of that on meetings, yeah, then maybe that's not the right balance, or maybe it is, I don't know. So it's a journey where we need to figure out what is needed, what is useful, what is desirable, and yeah. So if you have any suggestions or ideas, then please let them come. But from my perspective, please don't see my absence in some meetings as not being interested. On the contrary, I am very interested and I'm always available. Well, not always, but I always try to be available if there's some special need.
Yeah, my hands were up. I wanted to probably suggest that if possible, the crisp discussion should be held in a 4th week, that's in 2 weeks' time. Specifically, I think for one of the reasons that Jan has already stated, most people here work part-time, and we've already created a momentum and a pattern out of this. And so there will be people who will be interested, but they've already got things for next week and knowing fully well that we're supposed to be having these things again for in upper week. So I think people are already scheduled. And maybe for someone like me, I think I'm already scheduled. Like I try to schedule myself, and I always believe we humans are creatures of patterns. And so we are creating a pattern out of what we are doing. It happens on a subconscious level, right? But it happens. So as much as we have something that is very important, I think for the sake of the fact that we are also trying to create momentum with what we are doing, it would be nice if we can have this discussion in 2 weeks' time, but rather as a priority discussion instead of putting it in between. Yeah, just for people to understand that we have a method, we have a pattern, and this is something we are trying to achieve. It may not be optimal, but yeah, if it's possible, we should always try to attend to it.
Ubio, also just a quick question on what you're saying. Imagine we could, and this is just an idea, we could lock some time out of the town hall to have this discussion. Do you think it would be good enough, or do you think we really need to wait 2 weeks? I already see.
I don't think
I'm
I
ready
don't
to
think it
talk to
would be
that.
nice.
Sorry, do all at the same time. I cannot.
There's a reason why we split these meetings in town halls and all hands. All hands are directed to internal things. There was a time when town halls were just about internal stuff and governance, and it's not interesting to most community members. The town halls should be about projects, about the community, about events, etc. And we should isolate these internal discussions with those who are interested. It's an open meeting. Those who want are coming, but these calls are for internal things. I would not want to split that and now have the town halls again being targeted to internal things. Then what we can do is say we'll have one town hall a month and three all hands a month or something like that. But I wouldn't want to mix those two if I can be so frank.
Yeah, on one side I understand. On the other side, I don't know, even from feedback, I feel that most people who replied for the town hall feedback showed how they enjoyed being informed about what's happening in deep funding and also like participating in decisions. So that was interesting to see as well. But yeah, maybe that's something we need to rethink in some ways right now because it feels like we have a lot of interest in open all ends, a lot of things to discuss, and maybe in the town hall it's been a little bit harder even for the team because we really need to push to find topics right now and to push a lot with communications to get people. So maybe eventually that could be an option as well to start doing one monthly town hall and three all ends, for example. Who knows?
Yeah, or maybe have the all hands more frequent, and we can still have those two time zones or not, whatever is convenient to people, and have town halls more around events when there's really something that needs to be done, but don't make them scheduled. But this is the same kind of thing that you're also defining for community hubs, right? So you have to also give the example and be prepared that how we are doing it might also be followed up by the community hub. So also look at it from a broader perspective.
Yeah, I like the 3-2-1 rate. Yeah, seems interesting to assess and evaluate this possibility. Given Ubio's feedback as well, one thing that might be happening is that we are focusing too much on meetings to make decisions. We spent a lot of time on deciding and defining a good decision-making tool, and we have Lumio. We had a call a week ago, right, on the CRISP issue. So we presented, we talked about, Jan made the video, and everybody understood. So perhaps the decision should be being made on a tool as Lumio, for instance. Then we would be committing to the results, but also having responsibility or taking care of members' time here, that I agree. For us to have 3, 4, 5 meetings weekly, that where everybody should be there, or at least would be desirable to have, would be not feasible.
Yeah. Personally, I would just say a balance is also important in the sense of the discussion is also where sometimes you get ideas that you don't add by yourself, and you also understand what is, the point, why someone supports something and why they don't. And sometimes you get new insights and you come with a refreshed idea. So ideally, I agree with you in the sense that maybe we just need a initial discussion, something like that, and then maybe we could bring it to Lumio for decision making after there is this discussion. In fact, that's also what we tried to do the last town hall, but there was a general, let's say, agreement that it would be better not to do a decision immediately and to come right now, have an open doc, and then come and do the decision here. And that's what we have ready, but we can make it on the next moment. We have ready a little survey, and the idea is to ask anyone if they have anything they would like to add or any more on this topic. And if not, hopefully we can go ahead with some voting and some decision making. Well, I see a lot of silence, so
No, yeah, but I see a pattern, right? So, for instance, for the payments as well, we had the payment discussion. So everybody, we showed our point of view perspective. Hey, the payments are happening this. So now we have some ideas that can be done asynchronously, right? As it was, and not necessarily the team has to come and present the ideas, but we can through IO and a team to put in the proper tool, which would be Lumio, where people can also contribute with more insights. My perspective is this: if I am remembering correctly, Lumio allows this, and then have the proper discussion asynchronously. So every time we have great decision making that has to be from the community or circles, we would present, use Lumio, present, use Lumio. That would be a nice, well, from my point of view.
Ayo, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. Thank you, everybody. Great discussion. So, just two things from my end. One is the 3-to-1 ratio for town hall is quite dicey. There's the town hall, that's like prioritizing the community, all hands above the bigger community. I mean, their interest is also very valid. And there are many things, and there are also a lot of events that we need to get across. Like a lot, for example, in the past 3 weeks, a lot has happened. Imagine that we didn't. I mean, BGI, RFP, ideations, community hubs, several things, and then there's still awarded teams who have to share milestones, and these are cultures that we have to really, really encourage. Developer teams should be able to have consistent time forum where they can share what they are doing. Is good for is just good, right? So 3-to-1, I think it's tough, right? Now, to speak about what Rafael mentioned, I think the issue here is that we need to build, and I say that with myself in the collective, build the culture of decision making. So it's obvious now that matter most is where we communicate asynchronously mostly. And Zoom here is where we have the town halls and the meetings, So we have come to the point where we have all seen that decision making is very important to us, and we want to be carried, we want to, and whether it is going to be anonymous or not, whether it's going to be, I think that we should build a culture of using Lumio as this decision making. It may not be the best because, I mean, we've had discussions about it, about how sometimes it's just better to make the decisions on the Zoom and all of that. No problem. We are not looking for what is best right now. We might get it, we'll find it hopefully, but let's get started with this. And so one of the ways to do that, for example, is one of the things that we started when SAC coordinators sent us a list of who are members in their circles. That way, we can make sure that everybody's onboarded on Lumio. If you're a circle member, you're on Lumio. Your proper, stakeholdership, and so that if there are decisions to be made, we can just follow up the way we follow up with other things, reports and things like that, and say, okay, so there's a decision to be made, is 4 days, 5 days, a week, some reminders, decision has closed, and then we can now present decision at the next all hands, or the next town hall, depending on what reach it should have. This is what I think.
Tommy, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to echo what Rafael and I just said. It's been, I think, over a year ago when circles were much, much smaller in size. Esther, Singularity Net staff, Deep Funding staff, ambassadors, we all got together and we examined, I think it was 15 different decision-making tools in anticipation of the growth of the circles. And Lumio was the one that we kind of soft endorsed, but we're not using it. So why did all of us spend our time going through the exercise of figuring out what the best tool use was for the circles? And as we grow, and as we have now grown, we need to put it into use. And the onboarding suggestion I think is phenomenal. Now that's enough of what I have to say on Lumio. I need to get off this meeting in a few minutes, but I do have to make a comment, and please bear with me for a minute. My friend Rafael Presa, he has darker circles and more wrinkles under his eyes. And I don't know if it's the pressure Jan and the organization is putting on him, or is it the fact that his team lost in football, which we Americans call soccer. I'd like to think it's the latter, that it's all about Argentinian contingent kicking their ass down in Brazil. But what do I know? I'm just an American, and it's still soccer to me and not football.
I'm only accepting what you are saying because today is not last day, but JP is leaving. Okay, that's why. Otherwise, I would say the truth here. The truth. I want.
No, we all know that it's really all the pressure that I'm stacking up on Rafael, so it's totally on me.
Just to remind Tommy, it's football, not soccer.
Well, you're going to start the debate now. Kevin's going back to Ghana. He was over there for 2 months, and he had a problem with the Ghanaians about soccer and football. And now that he's representing some of them as a sports agent and the weightlifters, and he's doing all this other shit, he's also calling. Listen, I had season tickets to the Giants and the Jets on the 50-yard line for many, many years. That's football. What the rest of the world plays, it's soccer.
No.
Well, let's see, if we are in a democracy, I guess football wins, Tommy. I'm sorry. You just sum up the votes, man. Sorry.
Well, I think this should be a matter of consensus, not consent.
So we need to come up with a new name. Well, everyone, please go ahead. We take
Rugby.
Rugby. Preferably a name not used by any other sport, I guess. But yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, okay. I was just confused by the comment of Juan Pablo. All right. Thank you, Juan Pablo. Well, I guess we can wrap it up for today, right? I mean, in terms of the decision making for Chris, yeah, I think the only comment was to maybe use Lumio or do it in 2 weeks, right? That's as far as I understand from this call, and that would be the final decision making, right?
Yeah, so on Lumio, we either have to use it or lose it. Because we've had that license for almost a year, I guess, but haven't done anything with it at all. After all that research and effort that we put into it, then it was finally there and we stopped using it or never really started using it. So I'm also not 100% convinced if it's right to have these kind of decisions through a tool or whatever, a final vote or whatever that makes sense. But yeah, I'm interested in trying it out. But I don't want to do that on a time pressure thing. I think we should give it some proper attention and think about the process and how we want to use it and for what kinds of things. So if there are any volunteers who would like to give that some thought and wrap it, see how we can wrap that decision making better in this all circles, that would be very useful. Talking about volunteers, I think maybe part of the solutions in these circle meetings is that not everybody always has to be in all meetings. So today's meeting, yeah, if we do this roundup of all the circles, I think it's great to have everybody here. If suppose that next week or in 2 weeks, let's say I'll go with UBO. I'll go with UBO. I think it's important. This is an important decision, and I wouldn't like people to miss it because of other agenda items. So let's delay it until 2 weeks and then figure out how to go on. It might be that in 2 weeks at the end of the call, we don't have an outcome yet, and then it would be the time to start using Lumio to bring it to a final conclusion, or another way. But for that meeting, if some people are totally uninterested in CRISP, the core RFP ideation selection panel. To be honest, I had to look it up. I forgot the acronym. Then don't feel obliged. If you have no opinion on that or you think you can use your time better, that's no problem. For those people that are interested in the topic, and I would imagine a sizable amount of the people here would be, you're more than welcome. And because that's what we want, right? We don't want this to be a hierarchical structure. We want to figure out a way of decision making with all of us, with all our voices heard. And yeah, it's one of these challenges, and nobody has done it, I think, before us, the way that we are trying to accomplish it right now. So we'll need to figure out for ourselves. There are no ready-made solutions that we can just roll out. But it's one of the great things, I think, of this program. If we can solve this, if we can solve decision making in this big group, that's a big step forward and a big accomplishment for deep funding. And maybe all others that will copy us in the future. So yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit of extra time on that, but I also want to be respectful of your time and not having you feel obliged to be in all these meetings. Maybe that's also a way we can think about town halls versus all hands. Not entirely sure. Let's give it some thought, and maybe that is a good topic for Lumio. How we want to differentiate town halls from all hands and what the right frequency and moment would be for both. What do you think about that, Rafael? Or am I now taking something away from the event circle and putting it in Lumio?
No, it's okay. We are very open to hear the opinions and the ideas of the community, also because they are part of the events, right? But I would say that we love for you to be obliged to come to every event. Maybe after a while, you will start to like it. First you come obliged, but then you hopefully you'll start to like it. And if you don't, well, tell us how we can make it better for you to like it. But yeah, definitely we can have that. Also, IO is the Lumio, I don't know what to call it, leader, Lumio owner. So maybe IO, you can get onto that and start doing some questions. And I think you also have probably some work to do with onboarding because I believe the onboarding of Circle members, it's not up to date, right, IO? Into the Lumio tool.
Yeah, for the Lumio, yeah, we have to update for the Lumio.
So that's also going to
Rama
be a
isn't there
little
yet.
challenge. What? Sorry, Jan?
Sure, Rama isn't there yet.
I know.
Yeah, and yeah.
And a few other people. So yeah, we really need to dust it off and see and rethink. But let's have this topic. This is less urgent, so we can have some time to play around and see what is the right process around all hands and meetings in general and town halls, how we want to do that. There is also a cost aspect there, right? So every meeting people go to, will that come as an hourly pay for deep funding or not? In some cases, it should. Maybe in some cases, it shouldn't. I wouldn't like to get into a situation where somebody spends 9 hours on meetings and 1 hour on real productive work. Not saying that the meetings aren't useful or productive in their own way. But we need to find a balance in all of these things. So this could also be part of that discussion.
All right. All right. Awesome. I think then we already have the idea for the next Open All Hands. So don't forget, if you want to be part of the quiz, that's what you need to do. Ayo, yeah, you have your hand up. You're
Yes, I
muted.
do. I saw that you're rounding up, and I just really wanted to say a few words. Thank you to all the circle coordinators for submitting the reports. And so it gets tricky because sometimes there are things to correct, things to update, and and then it goes to last minute, and that's okay. I mean, I understand. I mean, I also don't want to be at your neck all the time. But we have a challenge. The challenge is that usually we would like people to be able to access the report on the website before the call, all right? So that if you want to read ahead, because that also helps engagement. So one of the things we also learned from our survey, that people should have access to the resource materials so that they can digest, and then when they come to the call, they're able to interact, and that helps us. So I am humbly proposing and appealing that all reports come in for Tuesday night, say say 12 midnight UTC, all right, or something like, or 11:59 UTC. So take the whole of Tuesday, give me the Wednesday, all right, so that we can just make this process better for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Io, and thank you for putting all that effort in. It's not the most nice job to have to chase people for content. Everybody knows that. So let us all also help Io in getting this done and not wait until he's pushing you and breathing in your neck, but do it proactively. I also had during the meeting a short dialogue with Io where I said, hey, shouldn't their link to the document not be on the community website in the event? But he explained to me what the reason is. And for me, it would be much easier to have it there, to read it during the call or maybe even before the call. And that would help me concentrate. And I would get so much more value out of the call if I have that document in front of me. So thank you, Ayo, for all your effort there. But also thanks all of you who did put the content there in time or even at the last moment. I appreciate everybody's effort to making this kind of meeting the success that it actually is, I think. Thank you.
All right, some good notes, and we're gonna finish up this call. And I would say, guys, don't forget Spotlight Day tomorrow, BGI round. Definitely would love to see you there and show the power of the deep funding community. So yeah, go there, check out some good proposals. The same time as the town hall, so it's not a strange time for you, hopefully, just a strange week. But it's a good time for everyone to meet, I believe. Well, thank you so much.
Put it on Mattermost Towncube. I'm so
It is.
proud of you guys, but all of my colleagues don't know anything about it because they don't
It's
go.
already there, Jan. It's already there. They already responded from your lips to the marketing circle's ears straight there.
Wow. This program is getting more and more streamlined. I love it.
So efficient, so efficient. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for the awesome reports, and we hope to see you tomorrow, and of course as well next week on the town hall. We want you for every call. Feel obliged, please. Yeah, because I mean, without you is no fun. It's just me speaking at the screen. I can do it alone, right? But yeah, with you it's better. So please, we'd love to see you there. And just enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.